After a fairly tough start to SEC play, Tennessee bounces back this weekend. They go on the road, get the big sweep over number 9 Mississippi State. I got a lot of thoughts on it this weekend. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. It's good to talk some baseball again. This Tennessee baseball team, after what was a tough series loss against LSU last weekend, bounces back. They get the sweep. And, the biggest thing for me was they got out of the gates hot Friday night. And that's something Tennessee in conference play had lost all their Friday night games. And some of them, were pretty rough losses where they had them in hand and then it went away. But this team got out of the gates Friday night hot. Saturday, Teagan Coons come out locked in, dealing. He and Arvidsson shut it down. In Tennessee today, a big thing to me, they're getting out of the gates. They're getting leads early this weekend. And that's got to affect the pitcher's confidence. They're pitching with a lead opposed to playing from behind, which they've done a lot this year. But I don't think you can say enough good about this weekend, and especially Josh Elander and his decisions. They've been criticized at points. I've talked about them as well. We've talked about the pitching management. I feel like he knocked it out of the park this weekend. I really do. I think he hit really on all cylinders this weekend. And, as a coach, I've seen some of the ludicrous stuff about just he can't get it done or whatever. First-year guy, he's learning on the job on this. Let's look back to last year, and people tend to forget Tony Vitello's decisions got called into question a lot too last year. But I don't know. Maybe this is what this team needs, because I feels like they've settled on a lineup. And, if your pitching does what it did this weekend, this is going to be a hard team to beat. And that's why I've said this whole time, I'm not giving up on this team. And I didn't even talk about the LSU series last weekend. I didn't have time. I really didn't even want to talk about it. It was a frustrating series, but there's never any point I'm like, this team's done. They're totally done on the year. They're not. Big win. I don't know, Mississippi State got swept by Georgia last week, and then Tennessee took it today. It does not matter. They're ranked 9th. It was on the road. You went into what's normally a pretty hostile environment, and you took care of business this weekend. Hats off to Josh Elander. Hats off to this pitching staff, this offense. It just all clicked this weekend. They did what they needed to get the job done this weekend. I do want to look at the series stats, because I thought these were pretty interesting this weekend. So here we go. We're looking at it from a hitting standpoint. You basically, you're pretty set in your lineup at this point. You had Garrett Wright, Grinlinger. This is not in the order they hit. Marin, Chapman, Abernathy, Clark, Ford, Brown, Grimmer. You saw a little bit of change. One of the big surprises that's got me, now with Stone Lawless being back, it's affected things. But I said before the season, I didn't know if Levi Clark, about what him and his catching. He's doing a great job. Love what he's doing behind the plate. He catches 2 out of 3 games this weekend. And, you've put Trent Grinlinger in the lineup, which I thought was overdue on it. And they've pretty much settled on whether it's Jay Abernathy at second, whether it's Blake Grimmer, ever how they go with it. They've settled on a 9 in the lineup. And I think it made a difference this weekend. Now you look at him here, Garrett Wright. Garrett Wright is just like an on-base machine. Dude got hit again today for the 13th time, and it's pretty crazy how much he gets hit. But that was something we knew when he came over from Bowling Green, that he gets on base. He hit over 400 at Bowling Green. He went from there. Grinlinger, again, I love that addition to the lineup. I've thought all year he should have been in at some point. Marin, 417. Reese Chapman had some big hits this weekend. He came through. Abernathy, good to see him go 300 for the weekend. Clark, 250. Clark had some big hits this weekend. 5 RBIs. He led the team on the weekend. Henry Ford, 214. But Henry Ford still got some runs in. Blaine Brown, 182. I feel like there's another gear with him. Grimmer, 154. Not great weekend for him. Then you saw Icefelder, Finley Bates come in at 1 point. And then Antigua. Antigua come in as a defensive replacement today and played out really well. Now let's look at the pitching on the weekend. This tells the story for me. If you look at these ERAs on here, Evan Blanco, excellent job by him today, closing it out with the sweep on it, 6 2/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. Coons, arguably, maybe not even arguably, I think maybe one of his best outings as a Vol right now. And I love how he's responded. He went to the bullpen against Vanderbilt. He come in that Vanderbilt game when Arvidsson on Friday night started. Coons come in, pitched really well. Come in back in last Saturday, pitched well despite getting hit on it. And Appenzeller finished that one off to get the win. You know, you look at this weekend, Coons 3.0 ERA on it, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. That's a big thing for me. He does not walk guys hardly. Yeah, there's the one, but his strikeout to walk numbers are really good this year. Appenzeller continues to just do great. And I'm interested to see how Josh Elander uses him, because it seems to me like last week, Coons went 4, right around 4. Appenzeller come in and finished it. Friday night, Landon Mack went 4. Appenzeller comes in and finished it. So I wonder if it's going to be a basis by basis thing where if, say, Mack or Coons maybe doesn't go as long, if Appenzeller's not your long guy to come in and finish it right now. But I like what they did Friday night. They solidified that because, you know, up to this point, Arvidsson's been hit and miss. Let's face it. He's had some rough outings along the way. But Arvidsson, you know, come in Saturday, closed it off with 3 innings on the day. Did give up 4 hits, had 3 strikeouts on the day. Today, I'm a little interested they went Brady Frederick, Chandler Day, but that tells you right there, there's not the confidence in Braden Krenzel or Lindy right now. There's just not that confidence in them, as they've both gotten hit hard in SEC play. I think you need to pitch both of those guys midweek, let them get some work in, which they've been doing a little bit right now. I just don't see where you can trust either guy on the weekend right now. I know they've got the talent, but they've not been getting the job done. And Josh Elander went with Brady Frederick, who did get a big out today. He hit a batter, then he got a strikeout, then hit a batter, and they pulled him. Chandler Day come in, got an out, did give up a hit, and then they went Bo Rudy, and Bo Rudy closed the door at that point. I thought it was really good management. I thought it was interesting, too. They went with the freshman Chandler Day, and Josh Elander said it, toughness. He said Chandler Day is not afraid to come in and throw the ball. That's pretty big. Frederick, you know, 4 relievers there. Arvidsson, Rudy, Day, Frederick, 0.0 ERA. Landon Mack went 4 innings Friday, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. He gave this team a chance. Wasn't his best outing. Don't get me wrong on that one. But, you know, Landon Mack's had some rough decisions, too, that's gone against him where he's pitched really well. So I like that they went with Cameron Appenzeller. Because, I mean, you can make the argument that Appenzeller's maybe been overall their best pitcher up to this point, at least from a consistency standpoint. He's been excellent. And, you know, Elander hit it. I feel like he hit them all this weekend. And, you know, big win, big sweep for this team as we move forward with it. You got to like, you know, this has got to get some confidence going with them. And would have been easy after that LSU series for confidence to not be good. But this team, they came back. They got the job done. Now you're looking at we'll pull the schedule up here. I mean, you could look at this right now. They have played what now? 4 SEC series. Excuse me, 5. 5. They've lost 3 out of 5 now at this point. You can look at that Georgia series. Could have won that. They could have swept that series. Got the Friday night win, lost Saturday, lost a tough one on Sunday after being up on that. Missouri lost the Friday night, bounced back, won the last 2. Vanderbilt series, lost all freaking 3 in walk-off fashion. You can make a case they could have won that series for sure. All right, I mean, you blew a 5-run lead on Sunday. You know, they fought back other games on that, but still, I mean, when you get walked off 3 times, you can make a case they could have won that one. LSU series, I mean, Friday night was a tough one. If you look at that, I mean, because Landon Mack, I mean, he pitched excellent on Friday night against LSU. He went 7 innings on it, 1 run. Then Arvidsson come in, got lit up, and Bo Rudy got lit up too. So, I mean, and that's not, that is uncharacteristic for those guys that did it. But, you feel pretty good when you go to those guys, you can win the series, and you didn't. You can make an easy case they could have swept that series against LSU. And then, of course, they took care of business against Mississippi State. Great job by them. They got UNC Asheville again. It's the second time they played them this year. UNC Asheville. Wait, am I wrong on that? Hang on. Let me go back and look. I was thinking they played them already. I'm totally wrong on that. Stand corrected. They play UNC Asheville first time on Tuesday. And then Ole Miss at home this weekend, Lipscomb, and then you got Alabama. You got 2 straight weekends of home series. And this would be big for them to take care of business these next 2 weekends, start getting that resume built to where you can host a regional. I think that's the biggest thing there. No matter even if it's in the lower part of the regional, you can set yourself up to possibly host a regional and possibly a super regional if you get it. Because last year, obviously, they hosted the regional, won it, but then they were lower, had to go to Arkansas, and it didn't go too good last year. But you could possibly set yourself up, depending on the draw, to host those. So, looking at the rest of the way, you've got those 2 series at home. Then you're at Kentucky, first weekend in May. Texas coming to Knoxville, second weekend in May. And then you close it out at Oklahoma on it. Not going to be easy the rest of the way. Not going to be easy, but you have more home series than you have road series at this point. It's a good opportunity for this team to make a statement. But, as you know, in SEC play, there are not any easy weekends on it. They're just not. And, but, it's got to give Josh Elander confidence too. And I wonder how much it makes a difference. He's in the dugout now opposed to coaching third base during the games. He's able to kind of interact with the pitchers. He's kind of able to get their vibe along the way. But I think he pulled the right moves this weekend. I don't think he had a bad move the whole weekend. That was big. You could see it meant a lot today when he ran out into the huddle. Team was hooting and hollering along the way. But Tennessee baseball needed this. They needed a series win just in general, much less a sweep on this. The fact they got the sweep was big. And Landon Max will deliver most nights on this. We've seen it already. Coons is getting back in a groove after going to the bullpen. He's come back. I mean, he was locked in. He was pitching really well this weekend. And, there's a time or two he got in a little bit of trouble, worked his way out of it. That was big for him. And, looking at it as well, I wanted to look at they had the series stats. I wanted to look at it from a defensive standpoint also on it, because that could be big on it. Only 1 error on the weekend. That was Blake Grimmer at second base last night. It was a pretty routine play, and he just bobbled it. But other than that, their defense, that's big. That was a big thing last year. How many times did Tennessee's defense kill them on the weekends? Defense has been there. They're getting the job done. I mean, you're making plays. I mean, people talk about Blaine Brown and his defense. I mean, he made a big diving catch last night, which was big. Guys just stepping up. Guys not losing confidence, doing their thing. Tennessee baseball, big weekend, big win. Now, how do you finish down the stretch? I think Josh Elander might have found something with his lineup and with how he uses the staff on the weekends. Again, the one thing I'm looking at is would they be more to go with Appenzeller in a longer relief effort? I think he's throwing Friday or Saturday. I think it just depends on that, depending on how Coons or Mac. I mean, I guess they're going Mac Coons. I don't see him messing with that rotation. And I like it. I mean, you've won 2 Saturdays in a row with Coons starting. You don't mess with it. Mac is going to get results on it. Should have won against LSU. He pitched well enough to. He did enough Friday night. Appenzeller closed the door. The offense come through on this one. So good week. Excellent weekend for Tennessee baseball. Hopefully this gets things going in the right direction. Frank, House of Orange, I'll see you when I see you.